Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing really well. It has been a minute since I've done a pre-recorded video as well as a live. I promise I'll talk more about that in either later videos or another live video at some point. But today we are doing a video on mods and CC that I cannot basically play this game without. And so the purpose of the series is to highlight CC that you probably are familiar with, or maybe you forgot about, or maybe you've never heard of. I do get from time to time someone popping into my live chat telling me, hey, I asked such and such, or I've asked about this and they won't tell me. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna gatekeep everything. Now, I might gatekeep some stuff, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna gatekeep everything because I feel like this is a way to level up your gameplay in The Sims. So we're gonna talk about mods or CC that I cannot play my game without. Now, I'm one of the Sim players that plays with mods and I play with CC. I cannot play this game without it because it makes it more realistic and it makes it fun for me. Now, if you are going to download mods or you're going to download CC, the things I always say in my pre-recorded videos, especially when I'm showing like CC or mod showcases, things like that, or specifically this series, I always tell you to make sure that your computer can handle it. If your computer can't handle it, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have issues with your game loading properly, the mods or CC working properly, etc. Make sure you have enough space. That's definitely something that I need to work on because I do my YouTube videos and things on my computer as well as do gaming. And I know if I try to like record or live stream Enjoy, it's going to eat my processor and my graphics card up because y'all know, or if you don't know, Enjoy takes a whole lot. But that's not the purpose of this video. I'm just talking in general. Please make sure you have enough storage, enough space. Your processor can handle it. Your graphics card can handle it, because if it cannot, you're going to run into issues with mods working, CC looking right, and even just game functionality, and we don't want that. The other thing I want to stress is anything I share with you, download at your own risk. If you download this and something happens, I'm not responsible. The creator of the mods or CC is not responsible, because remember, you have to do your due diligence and make sure that your computer can handle all the products that us YouTubers share with you, okay? As far as gaming, I should say. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the mod showcase. I want to let you know that there's one mod that's kind of like mod/CC. That's why I kind of retitled the series from, mods I can't live without to mods and CC I can't live without, because I want to be able to show both. And I may mix them up, but specifically this video is predominantly mods. But again, one of the mods does have CC kind of with it, if that makes sense, which that tends to happen with not a lot of mods, but a good bit of them. So there will be links below in the description box if you want to check these mods out yourself. All right, so with all of that housekeeping being done, let's jump on into the mods. So these first two mods are cast mods, and they work kind of sort of hand in hand. So I'm going to modify her, and I should have jumped into cast before I did this. Hold on. This mod, or these mods, they kind of go hand in hand. And so if I botch the name of these creators, y'all, please forgive me, because I just botch names sometime, and creators have unique names, to be honest with you. But Weerbesu is the first one, and I know y'all probably have heard about this mod because it has been out for quite some time, and it is one of the best mods when it comes down to create a sim. So the Weerbesu more columns mod, so you can get this in 3, 4, 5, and 6 columns. Now, if you're going to do a maybe like 5 or 6 column, please make sure that your UI is scaled properly. So I have a huge screen, so I don't have that problem with mine. You'll kind of see that my screen might be a little bit wider and things get cut off, and that's because my screen is so huge. But what all you have to do is, if I could talk, all you have to do is go to your game options, and you're going to go to accessibility, And this is your UI scale. So you can bring this thing huge. See, like it's giving me a warning like, hey, this is too big. But the gray area here is your safe area. So if you're going to do like the 5 or 6 row, and let's say you have a smaller screen, you can adjust your UI as large or as small as you would like, and you'll be able to see the additional columns. So if you have an issue where the columns are cutting off, scale your UI. That's pretty much what it is. Little tiny tip there. We're not going to save this. We're going to, oh, nope, almost exit the game. We don't want to do that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and click on Graceland here. And as you can see, I have the 5 row installed. I remember when I was playing the game on my laptop years ago when it first came out, and I downloaded this mod because that's how long it's been around. I was like, why is my 6th column cutting off? Well, come to find out it was the UI scale. So I've scaled this down. Let me go back in and scale it up a little more. Let me apply the changes, and this is kind of how it works. So it's not, hard to do. So I scaled it up a little bit more. So for this sim, we're in her sleepwear. So you can see I have a ton of CC. Let me go ahead and give you the money roll, because you know what? Why not? Oh, shoot. I have stuff in here I ain't even knew I had. That's what happens when you download a ton of CC. But anyway, I like this money robe. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it as that. So this just makes it easier to see all of your items. Even if you don't download like CC for cast, maybe you use base game, this is something that you should get, because then you can see everything. Because those 2 columns, like just imagine these 3 columns weren't there. You only get 2 columns. That's not enough. And if you have a ton of CC like me, you are definitely going to want 5 or 6 columns when it comes down to creating a sim, because then you can see more at once versus seeing less at once. So I highly recommend this mod. Now, to kind of work in tandem with this mod, there is a mod by TwistedMexi called Always Edit Mode. So if you don't know, you say you're just starting off with the Sims, or maybe you've been playing, you've been trying to figure out how can I edit my Sims and edit their traits or edit their walk style. Maybe I don't like the name I chose. I want to change that. Maybe I don't like their preferences. I want to change that. So you usually have to put on, your enable your cheats, and then you have to put on cast.FullEditMode. Well, TwistedMexi is the genius. He made mods that you don't have to type in those codes for. So you have like always free build. That's another one, which I may talk about in another one, because that's definitely one that I tend to use, especially when I'm working on my bills. And you don't want it taking money. Like, you ever see people when they do their bills down here in this little corner, the money will start going? That's what that's from. But TwistedMexi has made it easy to basically have those shortcuts or those cheats without you having to type them in every time. So the always full edit mode on allows you to edit everything about your sim as if you were creating a brand new sim. Now, without this, you have to type it in manually, or you can only edit like their clothes. So like, for example, with my my Arnie cheat that I have, I can click on my sim, and if I was to enter in editing cast mode, it would only let me edit just the clothes. It would not let me edit the walk, the name, maybe the preferences or their aspirations or their traits. I can't do that. So with this mod, you can. So again, this is the TwistedMexi always full edit mode. I can literally edit her walk. I'm not sure why she has a sluggish walk, because we get that feminine walk on here. I can change her voice pitch. Okay. And then if I want to edit her traits, maybe I don't want her to be ambitious. Maybe I want to take that off. Maybe I want her to be just cheerful. I'm not going to make her brave, because I think she's already brave with the reward thing. But I'm going to go ahead and put ambitious back on there. But that's just something that you can do. Maybe I don't like Graceland's name. Maybe I want to change it to something else. I can go up here and change it from Geiger to Good. Graceland Good. Oh, sorry, my capsule's on. Maybe I want to do that. And there we go. So you can edit these things with the full edit mode, even right down to editing the details. So maybe I don't like her teeth. Maybe I want to make her teeth a little bit more brighter and whiter. May want to give her some gold teeth, give her a grill. You can do that. I can go into her skin details and I can edit, her skin details. Maybe I want to remove it. Maybe I don't like it. Maybe I want the base game back. I don't, but but you get the point. You can do all of that with this mod. Again, I think it's very beneficial. It's a small mod that does big things in my opinion. And again, I highly recommend it. Okay, so our third mod, I had to jump into build mode for because I wanted to be able to show you all these items. Now, I'm going to, like I said, probably botch name, but I'm trying my best. But this mod is by MizoreYukii, I believe is how you pronounce it, and it is the functional broom mod. It gives you realism if you don't have the vacuum or you don't have the robot vacuum. Now, I'm saying those things because this mod, you have to have Bust the Dust kit, if I can talk. So if you don't have Bust the Dust kit, this mod will not work. Okay guys, I am in post-production at this point and I wanted to come to you and make a correction. So hopefully you can see right here on your screen, it states you do not need Bust the Dust kit in order to use this mod. Now, and when I originally recorded this video, I stated you do need that kit in order for the brooms to work, but that is incorrect. There's two different sections here. This is a section for those who own Bust the Dust and those who do not own Bust the Dust. So if you don't own it, it's going to run, or you'll have, 3 interactions in order for this mod to actually work. So I apologize about my previous statement. I was incorrect at the time that I was filming this because originally I did believe that you did have to have Bust the Dust, but because it is base game compatible, it did state here, let's see if I can find it, that they made 2 sets of interactions, one for Bust the Dust and the other one for base game, and the script that included will check if you have the pack installed or not and apply the right interactions. So that's good news. And I apologize for what I stated in the previous clip, and even in the remaining clips, if I didn't edit those out already. But you do not need Bust the Dust, okay? That's what MizoreYukii says right here. And I wanted to make sure I corrected that because I didn't want anyone to think that they could not download this mod without having this kit, and that was incorrect. So hope this is helpful. Hope this is good news for those of you who prefer the broom over the vacuum, especially those who don't like the sound effect. I should say, I've heard some people say that they don't like the sound effect, so maybe you'll like this instead. So anyway, back to the video. I know people will have their qualms about Bust the Dust, but I thought it was a very unique kit. Yes, it probably should have came in the base game. I feel like that's a basic necessity for anybody. But I digress. Okay, so MizoreYukii created these functional brooms, and you get 3 different brooms. So you have the medieval broom. I'll try to come in a little closer so you can see it. You have the modern wood broom. And then you have the classic wood broom. Okay. So you have the option to disable the broom. You can replace the vacuum if you have the vacuum. Let's say you don't want to use the vacuum, you want to use the broom. You can enable it, or you can also replace the broom. Now, so the medieval broom, this one comes in 6 different swatches here. So I'm just going to kind of show you real quick, and I'm just going to settle on one. And so then we have the modern wooden broom. It comes in 5 swatches. So really what's changing on this one is a little bit of the metal portion of the hook here, and then you have the what is it called? I used to know this term by heart, but the wrapping that holds the broom together, the plastic, that's what's predominantly changing. And then I think the handle changes a little bit, but it's not noticeable to me. So I'm gonna go with the red because why not? And then you have the classic wooden broom, which to me is a more modern broom. You know, like the ones that went from using wood handles to using like the metal or a plastic handle. This one also has 6 swatches that you can choose, and then the handle and the wrapping, as well as the broom, which I believe is plastic. So this is more like the actual straw brooms, these two are, and this is more of like the plastic broom, which you'll find in our society today or in the world today. So this is what this one looks like. I'm gonna stick to the pink. You can see here. So this is a very cool mod slash CC item to have, and I think you would really like it. Especially if maybe you're doing like a rags to riches style, and you don't have the money to afford the vacuum. This is a good one. Graceland, she doesn't have but like 2554 simoleons, so that's not a lot of simoleons for a vacuum. But y'all know I put my cheat in so I can actually get that vacuum. But I'm probably gonna most likely just let her keep the broom because why not? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get on to our next mod. Okay, so on to the last mod, which I'm excited about, and I'm so happy someone did this. But this last mod is by Midnitetech. And again, I mentioned this before, but I'm going to link all of this for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, or you just want to go and check the mods out. Please make sure you read the information that the creators of these mods have put on their Tumblrs or their Patreons or their websites, because you want to make sure that you have any required kits or game packs for these items to work. So this next one is going to require Discovery. I said Discovery, y'all. This next one is going to require Discovery University. This is the SimU online degrees. Now, she was getting ready to go to the computer anyway, but I'm going to show you how to get to it. So, this is another way that you don't have to physically go to university, which I love. You can go to university and enroll, and of course, go to school, do all the other stuff. Or you can go to SimU. So, with this mod, you can register for online classes, which will cost 600 simoleons, or you can take a skill class. So if you want to take a skill class, you can take acting, baking, comedy, cooking, etc., which will help increase the skill, and they can do this all from their computer. So let's say maybe you're playing in a maybe a story progression type, I guess, gameplay. I couldn't get my words right, y'all. But let's say maybe one of your kids is going to go off to college. You have the option to send them to university and they go all by themselves and they do everything by themselves and then they come back. Or they now have the option to actually go to university online, which that's pretty much kind of like what it is today. You have a lot of people that tend to go to school online. I am actually one of them. And then you have people who go to university, but it pretty much has just about every skill that you can think of. So I'm going to jump back to SimU and I'm going to have her register online. My sim currently has the career in law enforcement because her original aspiration was to be a bodybuilder, but I changed it to a best-selling author. I probably will change it again because, you know, why not? I can. So I'm going to have her register because she's got enough money to do so now. She's just browsing through. Let me fast forward it. There we go. All right. So as you can see, it took our 600 simoleons and now this pops up. So we can choose our degree of study. So we can go art, history, and it gives you, you know, the description, the art branch career, trendsetter branch for of a style influencer career, biology, communications, computer, culinary arts, drama, education, fine arts, history, language and literature. So if she wants to be an author that's famous, this is definitely one that she's going to go into. So we're going to select it. So it tells you here your SimU registration is complete. Dear Graceland Good, SimU thanks you for your prompt course payment. They said thank you for the money. And we are delighted to offer you acceptance into our online degree program. We make long distance learning easy and achievable, and you can study whilst you hold down a full-time employment, which any of us who are in school working full-time, you know how that can be. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here because I could talk forever and a day about these mods, as well as how it's going to help with story progression. I say these things are awesome. They are awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mod slash CC I didn't know I needed to level up my gameplay, and hopefully it will level up yours as well. Thank you so much for watching. While you're here, definitely go ahead and click that subscribe button because it does help my channel grow and helps beautiful people like yourselves find the Casual Games channel. I will catch you guys in my next live or pre-recorded video. As always, be safe in those streets. Be blessed. Bye.